Yeehaw partners, what's going on? It is Dylan here from Poolful, and today I am about to show you how to play a fun, addictive, and just amazing game on your pool table or snooker table known as Cowboy. And I just gotta preface this real quick. If you look up how to play Cowboy or Cowboy Billiards or something like that on YouTube, there are a couple of good videos that actually show you all the official correct rules. But then there are a couple that it's not Cowboy. It's more of a game what I would call like loop or kiss, or it's like kind of a Russian billiards to where you're shooting object balls off the cue ball into the pocket. That is not Cowboy. No, I don't care what those guys in those videos say. It's not what we, that's not Cowboy, okay? So this video right here is going to be your ultimate guide to the correct way to play Cowboy with all the legit actual rules. And another thing, you are going to notice that if you've never played Cowboy, you've never learned, it is a lot to digest. There's a lot going on, but once you start playing it, which is the best way to just hop in and learn, that's the way you're gonna learn it. And that's the best way to just take it all in and actually learn how to play this game. And I can guarantee it, once you start playing it, you're going to love it. I'm gonna give you all the information, and at the end of this video, I'll have a layover graphic that you can screenshot and save to your phone or your smart device. And if you'll look in the link in the description of this video, I have all the rules and everything too, where you can save that and then print it or something if you want. So about the absolute best way to explain this game is just to get in and start playing, and then I'll just explain as I'm playing. Okay, so first things first, you can flip a coin, lag for break, just like, however you decide in, a game of 8 ball or 9 ball, whoever, you got to figure out who's going to break. And then whoever gets to break, or really it's not a break, you're just shooting first. The rules are, as far as that goes, here in the kitchen, behind the bulk line, ball can be anywhere for the initial first shot in the kitchen. And you absolutely have to hit the 3 ball on the very first shot, okay? So a lot of times what you're gonna wanna do is obviously try to make it. And understand that the balls, when you make them, they are worth the point value. And every time you make a ball, you re-spot it into the same spot. So the 1 goes here in the center, the 5 goes in the very center of the table, and the 3 goes in the center of this line. So the absolute center of the bulk line, the absolute center of the table, then the absolute center of this line. So what this mark should already be here anyways, because that's where you put your 1 ball in a game of 8 ball in your triangle. So you should already have that marked. And then what I've done is I've just got like a really fine point Sharpie. I use some string both ways. You guys know how to mark tables. Put a little dot there. I don't like things real loud and visible on my table. And then the same thing, little dot, okay? So now that we know the orientation of the balls and where they always get spotted, you never put another ball anywhere else, okay? Another thing real quick that I need to mention is that say you're playing this game, knocking balls around, and say the 5 ball or the 3 ball ends up where the 1 ball needs to go. Say you make the 1 ball and you need to spot the 1 ball, but you can't because the 5 or the 3 is there in its spot. Well, you actually hold the 1 ball out until that spot is available. That goes the same for the 5 ball and the 3 ball, okay? So you guys follow me here. Like I said, I know it's a lot of information to digest. I'll have the rules linked in the description and at the end of this video if you want a screenshot. So, okay, so now that we got that out of the way, and I'm not the greatest shot, so bear with me. We're gonna try to make that up there in the corner. Okay, we got it. Now I made that, so that's 3 points, okay? And in the official game of Cowboy, you're playing to 101 points. So from 0 to 90, you're just going around trying to make these value balls, whatever they are. And you can have a friend, you're playing it against a friend or a buddy, and it really helps if they're the ones pulling the balls and spotting them. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get in a rhythm and a groove and keep going. So now, I'm not in a very good spot, didn't leave myself in very good shape, But here's the deal. I get to keep my 3 points on this run. Every time you're shooting, it is a run. I'm going to try to get as many points as I can in one solid run. I'm trying to get to 90 points as fast as I can. I know I told you guys it goes to 101, but we'll get there and I'll explain it to you. So, did you notice when I hit that 3 and it went in that my cue ball hit a rail? That is a legal shot. In this game of Cowboy, either the cue ball or the object ball absolutely has to hit a rail. Sorry guys, I got young kids that come out here, but so either the cue ball or the object ball absolutely have to hit a rail. Even if you make the object ball, the cue ball has to hit a rail. So there is none of this in this game, okay? There is none of this. Like an 8 ball, this is a totally legal shot. Okay? Made my 1 ball, but the cue ball just sits there. In the game of 8 ball, I get to keep shooting. It's not the case in Cowboy. That is a foul. And whenever you foul, you lose however many points you had accumulated in that run. So say that was the case. Say that my ball came around after I made that 3 ball here, went off the rail and ended up down here somehow. I got 3 points, okay? Well, if I do this right here, cue ball didn't contact the rail, my turn's over, that's a foul, I don't get to keep the 3 points, okay? You don't want to foul. Also, when you foul, this is an official rule, and you can do this on a piece of paper or a chalkboard or a whiteboard or however you want to keep score. But say I'm blue, I made this little gadget, and this is nice, I can do it with my cue stick. I'm going to slide over because I fouled, okay? If 3 turns in a row, you foul, you lose the game. So I fouled right there. Then my buddy comes up and he starts shooting, okay? And say he gets 7 points and he doesn't foul and then he misses a ball. Then it's my turn, okay? If I come up this time and I make this shot, I will hit a rail on this. I'm making it a point, okay? Cue ball hit the rail. I'm good to go. I get 1 point. 1 ball gets spotted, okay? So now I'm good to go. Now that if I finish this run, and so like guys, here's an example of a miss where I don't foul, okay? Right here, say I'm shooting and I'm trying to add to my 1 point total, okay? I shoot, I miss, but the object ball hit the rail, so I'm good, and the cue ball hit. I mean, just one of those balls has to hit a rail. So now I get to keep my 1 point that I made, and it's my buddy's turn to shoot. So I can go over here, and you start all over when you don't foul, okay? I didn't foul, so now I don't have to worry about getting 3 fouls in a row. My foul's reset. So basically, in case you're having a hard time following, just follow me here. You have to try to add up points. Okay, so I made 3 my first run, and I know I didn't go without fouling and all that, but act like I did. I made the 3, and then I just missed a shot. Then I came over here, and I made the 1, and then I just missed a shot. Well, I'm up to 4 points. Okay? Well, I have a little digital scoreboard hanging up here, and I can keep track of my points, but we don't ever add the points until your run is over. Because what if you're just cooking and you've got 18 points going and you're doing great and you're not fouling and everything's going good, but then you foul? Well, you don't need those 18 points up there yet because you didn't get them, so you might as well just keep them off the board. Don't put your points on your overall point board until your run is over, okay? So with all that being said, okay, you're trying to get to 90 points. I'm interrupting myself real quick because while we were talking about scoring, I realized that I didn't bring something up that's important. But just to give you an example of how to keep track of the overall score, right? So as you can see here, we got a whiteboard. You can use whiteboard, chalkboard, even paper and pencil, you know what I mean? But we actually played doubles here. Me and my buddy Warren played Mike and Troy, us versus them. We played to 51, as you can see, and we won. But anyways, basically, so let's say it was our turn first, and I shot first. I scored 3, so I wrote down 3. And then it was their turn. They didn't make anything. So then my buddy Warren went and he scored 4 points. So I had 3, he scored 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. So there's where we're at. We're at 7 points total. So we just always write our total down, and then, you know, that's how we do it. That's how you can do it on this, okay? Now, I will say on Amazon, I bought this bad boy. It's a little digital little score counter that goes up to 99. And I know you go to 101 if you're playing the full game, but that's not bad. And it comes with this remote, and it's pretty simple because all you got to do is for the left side, which is blue, you just push up and see how it changes the score as I'm pushing up or down if you put too many. And then on the other side for the red side, you push right. So when we're playing a game of Cowboy, we'll just typically leave that remote laying on the table somewhere. And then once we're done with our run, we put our points up there. So, there's some of the Brunswick tables, the old ones, they have the little rollers on them. So you can keep count like that. But just however you can keep score, those are different ways that you keep score. And then again, let me come over to this side. I just made this little thing right here, and I just got some beads and painted them. Put a black one in the middle. I got a couple of nuts on each side, so it keeps the black bead in the middle. And then with our cue sticks, we can just reach up, and right there, that means, 0 to 0. There's nothing there. Whatever's touching, so you slide a blue one over for 1 foul. Slide, you know what I mean? You just slide them over, then slide them back. And that's strictly just for the fouls. Again, you could just have a spot on your whiteboard, chalkboard, or paper that says fouls, fouls, and then you just put a notch there if you have a foul, then erase it if you don't foul. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure that I got that in, and I will put the link to this from Amazon in the description as well. Another thing that I need to mention, okay? I don't know if you guys know what a carom is, but a carom is when the cue ball not only hits one object ball, but the cue ball hits an object ball, and then it ricochets off and hits another one, okay? The cue ball hit 2 different balls. That is what we call a carom, and that is worth 1 point. That will keep your run going, okay? A carom will keep your run going. So, say you don't really have a shot, and this is your situation. Like, pretty much in this game, you're always going to have a shot because you're only playing with 3 balls. But for whatever reason, just say, okay, I want a simple carom. I just want a point, and that'll keep me going. Now remember, the cue ball or an object ball has to touch a rail on every single shot, whether you make it or you don't. So if I go right here and I barely hit these, okay, well, that was a bad example because the one ball hit the rail, so that was a good carom. Let's put them in the middle of the table for demonstration purposes. Let's say that I'm like, okay, I can get an easy carom there because those balls are so close, but I barely tap it. I hit both balls. What didn't happen there, guys? None of those 3 balls hit a rail. That is a foul. I don't get my 1 point for the carom or any other points I had up until that point. I just don't get those points. Now understand, you don't lose all your points that you've already previously accumulated in your other runs. You just don't get the points for that run. So basically, in this game, you want to try to make as many points as you can in a run, but once you start getting up into the high teens, the 20s, the 30s, hell, even if you're a really good shot and you get 87 points in one run, you better start being very careful that you don't foul or you lose all those points in that run, and that would not be good, okay? So, also, another thing I need to mention is this. Say that you got this whole thing going on, right? You got your 5. If I was better shot, then I would, could demonstrate this better. Let's see. Maybe I can do it this time. Let's say, all right, so here's another situation, okay? So you know that you get the value of points from the balls, and you know you get a point for a carom, right? you can do both. So I'm going to make this 5 ball on the side, and that'll be 5 points. You see the natural angle of my ball. My cue ball is not only going to hit the 5, but it's going to hit the 1 too. So let's go for 6 points there, because I hit the 5 in for 5, and then I get a single point for a carom. Now, and it wouldn't matter if these balls were like this. You don't get a carom point for the value of the ball you hit. No matter what value the ball is, you get 1 point for a carom, okay? So I'll just keep the 3 there. Okay, so right here, we're going to get us 6 points for sure. Because look, 5. I got the carom because the cue ball hit the 5, then the cue ball hit the 3. The 3 ball hit the rail, so that's a good shot. That is 6 points right there I just got. One more thing while we're mentioning caroms. And guys, believe me, once you start playing this game, you'll never realize that you could mention or say the word carom so many times in a day. Ever since I've learned this game, I can't tell you how many times the word carom has come out of my mouth. Here's one other one I'll tell you while we're mentioning caroms, and I'm not nearly good enough to do this, okay? I'm really not. I don't think I can do it. But if your cue ball somehow hits all 3 balls, you get a 2-point carom for that, okay? And remember, what do one of the balls have to do, regardless if I make it or miss it, has to touch a rail or it's a foul. Okay. Yeah, this ain't gonna work, but it worked. And my cue ball hit the rail, 5 ball hit the rail, I'm good. The cue ball made contact with 3 different balls, so that is 2 caroms, okay? So the most points you could get in an actual one single shot is you could make the 5 ball, and then you could hit the other 2 remaining balls, and that's a 7-point play, as long as one of the balls hits the rail. So I think you guys, so I hope you guys are following now. And right now I'm just going to do a little scenario here and just play along to make sure you're understanding while I try to think of other rules, okay? So again, we're going to act like we're starting a fresh game, and it's my turn, okay? I'm going to try to put that 3. I missed, but no harm, no foul, because, you know, I hit plenty of rails. So now I got 0 for that run. Now it's my buddy's turn. I'm my buddy shooting now. Okay, I'm going to try to put that 3 in the side pocket, but remember, I've got to make contact with the rail. So I shot pretty hard and with some top on, so I'd run up there and hit that rail. My buddy's got 3 points now. I spot the ball for him. Now he keeps going. Okay, let's run the 3 ball all the way down. Made it. Cue ball hit a rail. If that ball would have hit that, that would have been a carom. I would have got 4 points instead of 3. Okay? So I think that was the 3 that I made before. Excuse me if I was wrong. It's hard for me to keep track of all this. But I think I've made the 3 twice. So now I'm up to 6 points, and I'm still my buddy. Okay, let's go up here with the 5. Put some aggressive draw on it. Oh, I missed. But no harm, no foul. Didn't scratch. So I get to keep my 6 points. Now it is my buddy's turn. Okay, hopefully you guys are following along. Okay, now obviously the 2 other fouls besides not any of the balls hitting the rail on any given shot is a scratch. And then on all scratches in Cowboy, you shoot in the kitchen behind the balk line. And after a scratch, you can shoot any of the balls so long as if it's either on the line or past it, okay? But right here, someone scratches, we can't shoot the 1 ball unless we go off of a rail, just like an 8 ball, if you play it that way. A lot of places play ball in hand, but you guys get what I said. You're following along. But on Cowboy, all scratches are at the balk line, or you guys shoot out of the kitchen. So that's a foul. That's one way to foul. Another way to foul is this right here. Say that I miscue or something, and I'm trying to hit that 5 in, and I miscue, and I don't hit any balls. Well, an 8 ball, 9 ball, that's a ball in hand. Anywhere on the table, same thing in Cowboy. If you miss and do not hit then the guy you're playing gets ball in hand anywhere he wants, okay? And also, again, remember, anytime you get a foul, you either need to mark it down on paper or you can make a system like this. But anytime you get a foul, you got to put it over. And again, when it's your turn, if you get 3 fouls in a row, which is highly unlikely, right? Because there's only 3 balls on the table. It's not that hard. But if you do happen to get 3 fouls in a row, you lose the game. Okay, hopefully you guys are staying caught up with me. Now, I told you guys that this is a game you play to 101. But you got to go through and do everything I've been doing and try to get to 90 points, okay? Whenever you're getting close to 90 points, you have to make sure that your run ends on 90 exactly. You cannot go over 90. So let's say that you are at 88, okay? You got 88 points, and you're a bonehead and you're not thinking, or, you know, you just didn't even mean to. Got 88 points. I just hit the 3 in. I didn't foul, but now I'm at 91 points. Well, guess what? That is a foul because you can't go over 90, okay? So what happens there is you would just go back to 88 points or whatever you were before your run started. So again, so let's say we were 87, then we could shoot that 3 in because that gives us 90 points exactly. Or say you were only 2 points away. You could hit the 1 ball in, and then you could hit the 1 ball in again, or you could hit the 1 ball in and carom in the same shot, or you can get 2 caroms. You just have to be smart about how you get your points, but you want to end on 90 because if you go over, then it's just like any other shot up to that point. You don't get the points for that run, okay? Now, once you get to 90 points, all you can do at that point to score your next 10 points to get to 100 are carom shots, okay? But here's the kicker. You don't want to make any object balls. And guess what? One of the balls involved in your carom has to still hit a rail. So say I'm at 90 points right now, okay? I don't want to make any object balls or that's a foul and I don't get those points or that point. But if I can get a carom, so I'm going to try to go 1, 3, and have the 1 or the 3 or the cue ball, one of those 3 balls hit a rail, then I get my point. So here we go. There we go. 1 ball hit the rail and the cue. All 3 of them hit the rail, but it only takes 1 not to foul. So that right there, I'm at 91 now. I've got to get 9 more caroms like that. So say I shoot right here. I don't see how I'm going to get a carom right here. But say I shoot, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try to go for luck, a little bit of slop. I've only got 1 carom point, so no huge problem if I don't get it. Hit the 1, it hit the rail, we're bouncing around. Oh, I almost got the carom right there, but I didn't. No big deal. There was no foul there. So now I'm at 91, and now it's my buddy's turn. Say that I'm kicking his butt, and he's only at 36, and I'm at 91. Well, he's got to still work his butt off getting all these value balls in and try to catch up with me. But he can catch up if he's good at all because it's going to take me a while to get, 10 caroms. Okay, so hopefully you guys are following and you see where we're going. So now let's say that I have my 10 caroms, okay? So that means that puts me that I'm at 100. You win this game by scoring 101 points, okay? All right. So here is all you have to do. And I say all you have to do. It's kind of hard depending on where your ball lies. To get your 101st point, you have to intentionally scratch. You cannot make the object ball that you contact to scratch with, and you have to call the pocket that you're scratching into. So I'm going to intentionally try to scratch in this pocket right here, okay? I'm going to call it. Just like an 8-ball, you got to call the pocket for the 8-ball. I got to call the pocket in Cowboy of where I'm trying to scratch to win the game. This should be a pretty simple scratch shot. And again, if I just somehow, if I were to hit the 1 ball and then scratch, but this 1 ball didn't hit a rail, you guys got to be catching a theme now, right? That's a foul. That point doesn't count, then I'm just back at 100, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna scratch right here for the game winner. One ball hit the rail, I scratched. One ball didn't go in, I am the winner. Okay guys, I know that is a lot to digest. I think I have covered pretty much everything, and I will let you know that if you're wanting to play a shortened version, this is very common. What you do is you play to 51, and you shoot the value balls until you get to 45, and then 46 through 50, you go for those caroms like I showed you. And then, of course, for your 51st point, you got to scratch, okay? So I think you guys have it right now. And so if you think you got it and you understand, go ahead and, go to the end of the video, scrub forward, and I will have a image that you can screenshot with all the rules. And also a link in the description of the rules. Sorry, I can't find the cue ball. And right now I'm just going to play a little bit more. If you want to stay with me so I can play through it, and I'll talk you through it as I'm going, I'll do that for a little bit, okay? So brand new game. I'm behind the balk line, and it's my turn to shoot. Score's 0-0. It's my turn. All right, missed it, but I hit rails. No foul. It's just my buddy's turn. Okay, you see how that 3 ball came around and hit the 5 ball? That was an object ball hitting an object ball. Do you understand? I hope you understand that is not a carom. A carom is when, again, a cue ball hits more than 1 ball. Okay, so there's about where we were. It's my buddy's turn. Okay, I'm going to go. My buddy was smart. He tried to go 5 up here and just get the ball rolling with some points. Okay, we missed it, but no foul. All right, back to my turn. We're going to put this 1 ball up there in the corner, and I'm going to try to put some top on it, go up off this rail so I don't foul, okay? Here we go. All right, get there 1 ball. We're good. Okay, I have 1 point on my run. My buddy doesn't have any points. All right, and again, one thing. Okay, there's that 5 ball bank. Okay, we're still good, so now I'm up to 6 points. We hit rails. One thing that I did forget to mention is this game is absolutely slop. It's totally slop, okay? So if you could just hammer it and make the balls rattle around, and you might make a ball and get a carom, just so long as you strike a ball and you don't scratch, and a ball hits the rail, then it's not a foul. So sometimes you're going to get extremely lucky, and you're going to make an object ball and get a carom that you don't intend to, okay? So now we're back to my turn. Okay, good to go. Ooh, that's 6 points. Made the 5 ball, and I got a carom, okay? So in this run right now, I have 6 points. Okay, I tried to draw it back, didn't come. Made the 3, but guess what? I get no points because I fouled. Now it's my buddy's turn. I think you guys have it by now, but if you have any questions at all, if I forgot to mention anything, I'll put it in a comment and I'll pin it down in the comment section. If you guys have any questions at all, please be sure to comment. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments, man, you suck, you keep missing. Yeah, I'm not the greatest pool player, but I love to shoot, okay? I just wanna show you guys a really fun, cool game known as Cowboy. So again, hope you enjoyed it. Comment if you have any questions, guys. Get out there and play some Cowboy. It's very fun and addicting. And until the next one, guys, this is Dylan from Poolful.